Alpine MSS Burble flame tune. How does it behave? Is it dailyable? We will find out in today's video. First off, new video is dropping tomorrow, the mountain run with the cars and coffee. But huge shout out to you for liking, following, subscribing, sharing, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Over 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. Mind-blowing. Over or almost 60,000 followers on Instagram. Mind-blowing. And this wouldn't have happened without you, your help, your support, so I'm really grateful for it. And as a backstory, I already ran this map for a couple of days, but I got so many questions on Instagram asking how does it behave in the daily drive? When does it burble? When does it not? When does it shoot flames? I don't remember honestly, but also I haven't paid too close of an attention to it. I was more excited about the flames. So here, I will be answering this question both for yourself and myself. A massive disclaimer before we start. Whenever you're tuning your car, make sure to turn off all electronics such as your radio, lights and whatnot. And I would highly recommend hooking up your car to a trickle charger. Why? Because if your car dies in the middle of the process, it's not ideal. You may break your car, lead to other bad stuff, which may lead to other bad stuff, so you probably don't want to do that. I know that the battery is healthy. I've done this many times without connecting to the charger, but every time I do it, I still pray to God that this does not happen to me. Cars, gotta wait for them to pass. But if you're interested in learning about Alpine MSS in more detail and me hitting on other tuner companies, I'll drop a thumbnail somewhere on the screen so you know what the video looks like. Also, I'll link it down in the description. But what's left to do is me tuning the car with my laptop, got the dongle, got the cable, bottle of water because I'm gonna be here for about 5 minutes and it is absolutely scorching. So let me put on the map and then we're gonna get to driving. The tune is on. This is the format we will proceed with for the reactions, but I will also be telling you what is happening. And I feel like this is kind of the best way to get reactions, but I'm also gonna be kind of talking, so hopefully you don't mind this point of view. Going here, I already got some PTSD before we even start, and I just wanna say that the fuel economy with this map is absolute dog shit, so just keep that in mind before proceeding. So let us kind of move off and now, upon first kind of moving off, you're not really gonna notice anything. Now, one of the questions that I was getting is, does it burble? Does it keep burbling? So let's go up to 4,000 RPM. I let my foot off. We're currently at 3,000 RPM and the explosion happens somewhere at around 2.5 to 2,000 RPM, depending on the load and stuff, but it's usually around 2,000 to 2,500 RPM. This is what I found. Now, when we're going below 2,000 RPM, so let me kind of go down a little, you're gonna hear little burbles. Or not. Let's get some speed. So you can hear little burbles. I don't know if they're tasteful or not, honestly. On one hand, having a few burbles every so often, and I mean just by putting on the map whenever you want to have some fun, okay, but overall, I'm not a fan of burbles on this engine, although with DCT it might make more sense because of the cool kind of downshifts and upshifts where it already kind of gives you those little, I guess, natural burbles whenever you do like an exhaust mod. So again, third gear. Okay, not sure how audible this was, but this seems to be happening above 5,000 RPM. Once it goes below 5,000 RPM, or actually 4,000, let us test again, just to make sure. There's a hill, all right. Okay, so once it is actually below 4,000 RPM, it seems pretty chill. No pops, no burbles. Let's keep going. Third gear, 60 kilometers an hour, 2,500 RPM, 2,000 RPM, so we should get possible pop. There you go. Now, whenever you do, or whenever you want to know, whenever you attempt or do a flame pop, it is usually when you hear this, it's an explosion, but it's an explosion with a puff, where it actually pushes out the flame. Like, it is so obvious compared to all the other pops, because other pops are like little pops. They're not crackles. They're not crackles like you usually get on the turbocharged engines on other BMWs, M3s, and other, you know, M cars, non-M cars. They're not crackles. They don't have this sharp tone to it. They are gentle burbles that are round instead of jagged. I think this would be the best way to kind of explain. Let's pull up to the main road. Now, I don't hear any pops on downshifts and upshifts. But from my past experience, let me put the windows up a little just so we can hear me. But from my past experience, the way it works is, if you go above 4,000 RPM into the 5,000 and up, you have a chance of shooting a flame. If you, for some reason, downshift into the higher RPM, you also have a chance of shooting a flame. You can hear little pops, little tasteful pops, because we are on 2,000 RPM. Will it pop harder? 1,500 RPM. Okay, so this didn't pop this time because I found that, there's one of the pops, I found that you have a higher chance of getting them pops when you're not really driving subtly and slowing down. It's when you actually accelerate. There was a pop on upshift, and that was at around 3,000 RPM. So again, like, it does vary. We were going up the hill, so there was more load. And as I was saying, if you are going to, let's say, go off the RPM very slowly, it is probably not going to pop. But if you brake, well, it didn't pop, but usually it pops. So again, it does vary. So it is not guaranteed, but you can hear, or you can't hear the pops now because we're below 4,000 RPM. 6,000 RPM, and we're absolutely popping the fuck out of this car. That was a massive, massive pop. Holy shit. Like, the deal with flame tune is, it is super fun to put on when going back roads. But this car already gets so much attention, it is not even funny. With that exhaust, mind blowing, honestly. We're still getting the pops. We're about 2,000 RPM. We're cruising lightly downhill. There is a bit of engine braking happening, so we are at around 2,000 RPM constant. And since we're at around 2,000 RPM constant, it just kind of pops every so often. Which again, I'm not sure if you like it or not, but sometimes it is just so fun. Even on the S65 engine, it might seem a bit disrespectful, untasteful, but it's kind of fun. I 100% don't see myself, there we go, pop on upshift. I 100% don't see myself running this on the daily because, as an additional piece of information, this will destroy your O2 sensors. I should have mentioned, but I'm probably going to pop it earlier in the video, but you cannot do this with catalytic converters. I would also not recommend doing this with sports cats, so high flow cats, because it will most likely damage them, kind of spit on my steering wheel. So I wouldn't recommend running this with cats or with sports cats. You're really the safest only whenever you're actually going straight pipe, which is honestly, yeah, the only way you should be running this car. And we're getting more pops. So now let's go back to the, I guess, main question, how it behaves. From my experiments, trying out different things, you get more pops under load as you're going uphill or as you're braking. Hard brake, you can hear a super motherfucking loud pop. So you can see that under higher load, it just works a bit better if this is what you're into. Now, fuel economy sucks ass. It straight up sucks ass. When I was almost at halfway on my fuel tank, and now I'm almost at 1/4. So as soon as I'm reaching my endpoint, I'm putting this map off the car. Yeah, but if you're into that, that's also good. Now, when it comes to daily driving, I wouldn't want to do this because it is slightly obnoxious if you're driving around areas where people know you. If you're going to a car meet, you're looking to show off. Yes, maybe this is something that you would want to put onto the car. Record some YouTube videos and whatnot. That's also pretty much fine. But 2,000 or 2,500 to 4,000 RPM, you're pretty much safe. Closer to 2,000 to 4,000 RPM. If you're above 4,000 RPM, you will have burbles, a lot of burbles. So many fucking burbles, you are going to not want burbles, trust me. Especially if you're running this car, because again, this is kind of obnoxious on, you know, a naturally aspirated V8 that this car is. For me, it suits more turbocharged cars. Maybe supercharged, I'm not sure about that, but more turbocharged cars. But even on turbo cars, popping isn't healthy. But it's just like low-key, super fun to put on every so often. But in my opinion, if you're a cam driver, sure, you can daily it, but we drive M3s, we drive S65s. You're not gonna be a cam driver because no matter how many times you tell yourself that I'm gonna go for a chill drive, you're not going for a chill drive. You're coming back home with many thoughts and possible regrets. We both know that this is true. Yes, so hopefully this video did explain a bit about the flame tune, and hopefully I've enjoyed this video. It's probably one of the shorter ones, but again, I honestly kind of missed the flame tune, but as soon as I've seen like a quarter of my tank go in a space of 25-30 minutes, I'm not a millionaire at the end of the day. So again, take this video as you will, but I'm gonna go home and take this map off the car. Now, again, huge, massive shout out for liking, supporting, sharing, commenting. Like, it is huge. It may not seem like it's huge, but each individual person makes this entire channel, makes entire Instagram, and because of you, I'm able to keep going. I mean, I would either way. I like what I'm doing, but it just makes this whole entire process just so much more incredibly fun. So again, huge shout out to you. Hopefully your day is going great. Hopefully your last week was going fine. Next week, hopefully it's gonna go better. And yeah, I will hopefully see my next one. Take care and to the next one. Bye bye.